All right, good to see you guys today. My name is Rebecca. I'm a CPA. I primarily focus on taxation, on compliance and planning for individuals and small businesses, and I do a lot of consulting as well. One thing I find when I'm talking to clients about taxes is that always leads to other questions about their bookkeepings and their financial statements. And let's face it, I can't prepare an accurate tax return and find the most tax savings if someone's books are messed up or not, they're not capturing all their expenses. So today, I'm just going to go through a quick 4 or 5 questions I hear frequently from clients about their operations and their financial statements, and hopefully that will help you in some way. So also, I want to say this applies to new businesses and current businesses. I find many of my clients, as they grow, as they add employees, what they chose to do starting up is not always appropriate 3 or 5 years later. Technology changes, their business changes, so it's good to always reevaluate these foundational things every few years. So first of all, someone's chosen their entity, their business name, they have their business plan, and they ask me, do I need QuickBooks? Maybe, maybe not. Everyone needs some type of financial reporting system. I have a few clients, their business is so easy and simple, it's just them. They honestly just use Excel. That really doesn't apply to many people. Most people need a more robust foundation. When you're talking about QuickBooks, people ask about QuickBooks Online versus desktop. Desktop is a thing of the past, is literally going away 2027. If you are on that, this is your year 2026 to make a plan and switch. So QuickBooks Online really is the way to go. There's some other good options, Xero, FreshBooks. With those, you have similar capabilities. You might save about $20 a month, but personally, I don't think the savings is worth being on something that's not so universal. QuickBooks Online has so many integrations with different platforms, with different POS systems, etc., that you just really can't find elsewhere. I do have a few clients who are in architecture or advertising that use some industry-specific software, so I like to always look at those two that integrate the CRM or the project management components with it. So just a few considerations for your accounting system. Then, so after we choose the accounting system, everyone wants to know, what expenses do I track? Everything. You want to cast the net wide. You don't want to leave anything on the table. We can look at it later and say, no, that's not actually a business expense, or that's not deductible, but we don't want to leave any deductions on the table. I'm a big fan of a one-page financial statement. I think most small businesses, if you're more than one page, it's too granular, and you're only looking at the trees, not the forest. Everything on one page in most businesses, you see the big picture, you see enough details. You know, there's no need to really split hairs too much and give too many details. The most important thing is separating items that are taxed differently. So meals, for example, most meals are taxed, you get a 50% deduction. If you're going to meet a client and you pay for lunch, go and meet for a coffee, etc. Some meals, however, though, are 100% deductible. So your office Christmas party, you want that separate because you want to make sure you're getting your full deduction, not just half a deduction. Likewise, entertainment usually is 0% deductible. If you take some clients to Topgolf, only the food and beverage is deductible, not the entertainment. On the flip side, again, if it's for all your employees, a company-wide entertainment, that's 100% deductible. So it's important to understand the few nuances in these things of how to track your expenses. And one expense people always ask about is auto. If you are self-employed, you could perhaps have an opportunity to deduct some of your automobile expenses. Driving from your house to your office is not deductible unless you make a work stop on the way. Maybe you arrange for your coffee with your client on the way to work, and then you deduct that whole trip. So this is very situation specific. If you're self-employed, if you're an owner of an S Corp, there's many different ways to do this. So again, this is something you want to talk to your tax advisor about and see what's best for you. Also, anytime you buy a new vehicle, you might want to change the method. So I recommend tracking everything. You track your gas, your insurance, repairs, maintenance, all of that. And as far as your business use percentage, you really only have to track 1 or 2 months a year. Just track a representative month, everything that you drive, and then the IRS will accept that as substantiation for the whole year. The goal is to figure out how many miles you travel for work, how many are personal, and then your tax professional can maximize your deduction for you. And then lastly, I get this all the time. Everyone always asks, should I hire someone to reconcile my bank accounts? So this is really, it's like for smaller self-employed people that are asking this. If you're somewhere larger, you probably have someone doing this. Historically, the purpose was to try to detect and prevent fraud. You don't want someone writing the check who then has the opportunity to conceal it, and you want a third party checking it. Today, with QuickBooks Online and how automated everything is, there's really not a ton of benefit in someone else reconciling your account. QuickBooks will do it for you in 30 seconds, honestly. It's so fast and easy. The more important thing is, are you looking at your balance sheet and are you looking at your general ledger? So people also think if my bank account is reconciled, everything's in the right spot. Not true. That just means it's in there. That means you could have a birthday gift, code it as a meal. Like, it really just means it's in there, not that it's correct. So I recommend to my clients every month, look through your general ledger, make sure everything's in the right category, and then look at your balance sheet. People forget about the balance sheet, but if your balance sheet is incorrect, your profit and loss will never be correct. I just spent literally a whole week in November helping a good friend of mine correct her balance sheet that was off $500,000 for a little bitty business. And so you want to catch those little things as you go and don't let them snowball. So I'm going to end with that. And thank you all. Good to have you here today.